I will introduce the easiest version of learning Korean Hangul alphabet, invented by King Sejong in 1443. This will be explained through negative, and yang, positive. You can use this as a lucky symbol or even as a picture. The light we see during the daytime is only a small factor in contrast to the complete darkness of the universe. The following symbols are explained through and yang in a newly organized Korean alphabet. The sky is circular, the earth is flat, and humans are either walking or standing. If we were to use the symbols, the sky is represented as a dot, a circle, or a half circle. Earth is represented as a square or a line, and a human is represented as a walking person and an upright position. There are different ways to position the three symbols, like this, like this, like this, or like this. As a result, you can combine the three symbols to create meaning like this. You can also position the symbols like the sky, earth, and human. You can also write the symbols like this as three vowels and the circle, square, and walking position as three consonants. Under the sky and above the ground, the daily lives of humans, a woman and a man, is walking around and eventually dies. If you change the dots into lines, you end up with these symbols. In simpler terms, you can write these 6 symbols like this or like this. Woman, human, man becomes these symbols when you change the dots into lines. Ground, underground, above ground become these symbols when you change the dots into lines. The sky has night and day, and negative and positive yang. In the nighttime, the moon and star, 2 subjects, negative are symbolized as 2 lines, 2 dots under the sky, 1 dot under 2 lines. In the daytime, the sun, 1 subject and positive yang, is symbolized as a line, a dot under a half circle, a dot under a straight line, and like this. The symbol can mean both underground and under the sky. Positive yang, 1, negative 2, is the same as a computerized 1-2 system. You can also write the symbol like this: sky, dot, and half circle. Similarly, you could write that the day has only 1 sun, 1 subject, and the nighttime has the moon and star, 2 subjects. You can therefore use the dots like this or like this. The sun at dawn breaks the darkness and brings light into the world. The cold morning is the woman because of The dot is on the left to represent a woman. The hot afternoon is the man because of yang. The dot is on the right to represent a man. If you change the dots from woman, human, and man into a line, you result in these symbols. These new symbols are 3 vowels. You can also combine a woman, a walking symbol, and a man to create these new symbols, which are 3 consonants. We can split the woman and the man to yet another and yang. We split it into birth and death for the woman. Birth is represented as a positive 1 dot, yang, and death is represented as a negative double dot We can also split it into birth and death for the man. Birth is represented as positive 1 dot yang, and death is represented as a negative double dot Negative night, 2 subjects. Positive day, 1 subject. Negative moon and star, are represented like this. Positive yang, the sun, is represented like this. Morning, night, sunset is negative energy, and positive afternoon is positive energy. Negative female is represented like this, and positive male is represented like this. Death, under the sky and under the ground, is represented like this, and born and life, above the ground, is represented like this. Negative, outside the world, is negative energy, and positive, inside the world, is positive energy. The ground, underground, death, and above ground. We can make 3 symbols to create a new symbol. The sky and the ground, with a woman and man, meeting is this symbol. We now have 6 basic vowels: woman, person, man, ground, underground, above ground. From these symbols, we make 6 basic vowels. You can also make 6 basic consonants. You can alter the woman like this. You can make the human walk. You can alter the man like this. You can combine woman and man like this, as a woman and man meet. You can use sky and earth. If you change the dots into lines, you can make 6 basic consonants. Woman and man, death and life. These are positive and seen as yang. The opposing is negative with double dots and is seen as We split up the symbols again. We changed the dots into line again. In these last 2 symbols, we replaced the underground line with underground square and replaced the above ground line with above ground square. Then we end up with this symbol. If you separate the above mentioned symbols, you end up with 10 new symbols: woman, human, man, earth, underground, above ground, woman negative, man negative, underground negative, above ground negative. Since women and men live together in the world, we would add an extra person to each symbol. This symbol has both yang and represented by the single dot and the double dot. Since the basis of this symbol is a woman, the dots remain on the left. The single dot is yang and the double dot is Similarly, the symbol for man has both yang and Since the basis of the symbol is a man, the dots remain on the right. Try recalling the 10 vowel symbols. If you change the dots to lines, you end up with these symbols. There are 10 single vowels. Once again, you can change the dots to lines again and end up with 7 double vowels. Lastly, you can change the dots to lines once more and end up with 4 other double vowels. There are 21 vowel symbols that make up the 21 vowels of the Korean language. Now try following the pronunciation of these vowels. O, I, A, U, O, 여, 야, 유, 요, 에, 의, 위, 왜, 예, 워, 왜, 와, 왜. These are the 6 basic consonants: woman, human, man, woman and man meeting together, ground, and sky. A woman is born, and therefore positive yang and 1 dot. The woman also dies and is negative and 2 dots. However, there is no symbol for the woman's death. This is an exception. A man is born, and therefore positive yang and 1 dot. The man also dies and is negative and 2 dots. A woman and a man meet with positive yang and 1 dot. A walking human is also born and positive yang and 1 dot. The walking human also dies and has negative and 2 dots. Think of the square ground as the line ground. Negative double dots have above ground and underground. Take a look at the ground. We use above ground positive yang with double dot, which is the afternoon. Underground is negative with double dots, which is the nighttime. You can combine the symbol for afternoon positive yang and night negative to make this symbol. Since it is negative death, we make the symbol represent the lying position of death and turn it to its side. The sky has positive yang and negative Therefore, we write 1 line and 2 lines. Above the ground, the woman and man are both positive yang. You can add another human to these symbols like this to make them look like these. These are the 5 double consonants. If you change the dots into lines, you end up with these symbols. Positive yang, above ground, woman, man, peoples. These make the 5 double consonant. Finally, we made 19 consonants, 14 single consonants, and 5 double consonants. Now we are going to pronounce all of the alphabet, so you can follow along with me. 기역, 니은, 리을, 시읒, 미음, 이응. 기역, 키역, 끼역, 니은, 디귿, 티귿, 띠귿, 리을, 시읒, 지읒, 치읒, 시읒, 찌읒, 미음, 비읍, 피읍, 삐읍, 이응, 히읗. You can also read it a little differently by adding the sound 그, 크, 끄, 느, 드, 트, 뜨, 르, 스, 즈, 츠, 스, 쯔, 무, 브, 프, 뿌, 으, 흐. Now you learn the 40 Korean alphabet, 21 vowels, and 19 consonants in 20 minutes. With this simple and easy alphabet, you can easily communicate in all kinds of sounds and languages. With this new and improved alphabet system, there will be no more illiterate people in the world.